the GSD team once again on your video. And we just wanted to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month because not only is it important to us, it's important to the globe, it's important to the frontline workers, and it's important to everybody. So with that, we just wanted to give you a couple sound bites of why it's important to us.
Well, I can take it away. Thank you, Brittany, first of all, for setting this up. I completely agree with you. I think our mental health are so important, right? Like we pay so much attention to our physical health, but our mental health is equally as important, if not more, because what we put into our mind is what we manifest outward. So being able to make sure that we take care of ourselves both physically and mentally is so important. I know we're talking about this, in May because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, but taking care of yourself always is something that we have to frequently think about. For me, mental health is not only taking care of yourself, but it's taking care of the world around you. Mary, on to you.
All right. So again, it's really important that we give attention to and shine a light on mental health awareness. And, it's perfect timing as we, this COVID fatigue has set in and everybody's ready for summer and warm weather and to get out there. And, let's kind of reflect back on mental health. And, for me, I think what I've really discovered through the last year and a half is everybody's different, and what is important to maintain mental health for each person is different. Some people loved lockdown and, thank goodness they got to stay home. And some people, are climbing walls going, when do I get to get out again? So, I think number one is be kind to yourself and kind of reflect back on what serves you the best. Is it just the solitude and the quietness and, building that strength from inside, or do you need that engagement with other humans and go seek that out via Zoom or phone calls or text or whatever that is? But, be kind to yourself and understand that it's different for everybody, and, cut yourself some slack that we all have bad days, and, allow yourself to have those bad days.
It's a lot to follow on, but like mental health awareness, I think it's something that I think more and more we've become aware of over the last year, 18 months. And it's funny, I guess, that it's forced a pandemic for people to consider it's not just your physical health that you have to be aware of. And, I've spent 18 odd years in the industry, and some of the smartest, most intelligent, toughest people I know have struggled with mental health. And I don't think that that's something we should be afraid to talk about. For a long time, people have been made to feel either themselves or by others that it's not something we should talk about, and I just disagree. I am constantly aware of my mental health, not necessarily because I'm constantly struggling, but I think being able to look inwards and understand your own dynamics and your own challenges is how you move through challenging periods of times. And I think there are lots of different ways we can approach that. As Mary and Kirkshana just said, you can talk to people who understand. You can find your own way of moving through that process. I have things that I like to do. I exercise, I journal, I do yoga, I meditate, and I'm not ashamed to admit any of those things. I have my mental wellness practice that I think is really important to me.
So happy Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health, I think, is something, though, that shouldn't be just talked about this month. I think it should be ongoing. And as we've struggled, as James said, through life changes for every single person on this planet in one way, shape, or form, I think it's brought to light a lot of our internal struggles. It really made us look in a mirror and say, do we even like our lives, right? What do we like about our lives? What do we need more in our lives? And I know that was reflection that I did, and I faced not only a ton of burnout last year and into this year, but just a lot of anxiety of futuristic. What is happening? What do I want in life? That type of thing. And I don't think that should be something too that we hide. If we learned a lot about ourselves last year, and we should be proud of that. We should just keep it going, right? We should not stop. And for one, I say this to some people who I know are struggling. Mary mentioned that she actually likes to talk it out loud to somebody else, and that helps her work through problems. I'm exactly the same way. I don't even care if you're just a sounding board, but for some reason that works for me. But, I always say no one's going to love you until you do. And it's very true. Authentically, you will not be authentically loved until you actually love yourself. And it should be our goal to be the best version of our human that we can be, while keeping mental health in the forefront.
Wowza. Wow. How do I close out this? Well, as you all, most of you guys that know me and the audience is watching, mental health awareness and positivity is definitely my superpower. That's why we created the Kindness Games, to give back to the community, the audience, and the human race on a whole. James made some beautiful points. Hashtag it's not weak to speak. Please, those of you that are suffering in the dark, it's time for you guys to come out into the light. You need to embrace who you are, just like Britt said. Own yourself, love yourself, and give yourself the respect that you deserve. Yes, mental health challenges, depression, etc., are extremely difficult, and none of us are here to say we know how you feel and we know what you're going through, because we don't. That being said, we're here to encourage you, support you, and share some words of wisdom with you, experiences, stories, journeys that we've all traveled on. Please don't keep yourself in that dark room. Don't keep yourself hidden. We're here to give you the love, care, and support that you need.